Brandon Rapola, of course, everybody back there at home knows who I am, and this outstanding sheriff. I'm going to let him explain where he's from and what he's doing here, and how he's showing his support for the Bundys and everybody out here.
Yeah.
Take it, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks. I'm Sheriff Brad Rogers from Elkhart County, Indiana, and I'm here in Nevada here to show support. I have of course, no official authority here under state law of Nevada, but I come as an elected sheriff from Indiana. Elkhart County is about 200,000 people. We have lots of rural and farmland and so on. So it's not a podunk county in any sense of the word. But I come out here to show my support and to tell people that this isn't a bunch of domestic terrorists here, for one thing. And secondly, we certainly have a right to carry firearms under the Second Amendment, and nobody's threatening anybody here, or at least nothing that I've seen. And we have a right to protest and or give our opinion about stuff, free speech. And so I support that. And I've always held that ever since Waco and Ruby Ridge, the federal government would prefer we just forget about those things, but it's stamped in our memory that we don't want another one of those. And it's important that I think the local sheriff should take the stand and intervene, even if he doesn't believe that all you guys are right, or even if Mr. Bundy is all right. He should be intervening there to keep the peace and to get involved in resolving this. Again, it could be that Mr. Bundy has some issues, has some accounting to do, and to be held accountable for something. I don't know. I'm not here to judge that. But my point is, that can be done by the sheriff's office.
Yes, sir.
And we don't need 200 armed federal agents coming in and letting things get out of control. And the sheriff, like in Waco and Ruby Ridge, could have resolved that peacefully, and we could have walked away from it, nobody being killed, and that's the whole premise here. So I just want to show my support in that sense.
I appreciate that, and I want to make sure everybody knows back at home the sheriff is the law of the land.
We have the sheriff is the highest elected law enforcement officer in the nation. And it's elected for a reason, because it's accountable to the people. Now that doesn't mean that mob rules or anything. We still have a republic, but the Constitution is our guide, is our standard. And if we allow what is typically happens in a democracy, and we're not a democracy, we're a republic, but I'm telling you, mob rules in a democracy, see? And so that's what a lot of times the federal government and other leaders want you to lead you to believe that this is a democracy, and it doesn't matter about what the rule of law is. But anyhow, the sheriff is very important. I'm not going to go so far as to say that we have the ultimate power in anything. I can't stop Obamacare and things like that.
Sure,
There's stuff that I just can't necessarily control. But when it impacts my citizens, and in 2011 I had an Amish farmer who was being harassed by the FDA, who were coming in, and he was trying to distribute raw milk legally by state law, I might add, and he wasn't breaking any laws, but the federal government was harassing him. I kicked him out of my county back in 2011. I threatened to arrest him if they returned without a warrant. They have not returned since 2011. So it goes to show you the power of local authority when someone will have the intestinal fortitude to step up to the plate.
Yes, sir. You know what, sir? Thank you for coming out here, and it's really important for people to come out and see that that's what the militia members, the 3%ers, all the people coming out here. Like you said, we don't want to see a Waco, Ruby Ridge. We don't want to see anybody being harmed just because of somebody else, the federal government or anybody else coming through and dominating a family or dominating American citizen. And for me, it's really sad to me when we're having to put this stance against other Americans, and all of us talking to the other people that are here. It's like, why do we have to do this? And it's the support of other people to recognize that the sheriff that can come in and intervene, and having other people come in and say, you know what, you don't have to come in with your helicopters. You come in with 200 armed people to come in and assault this family.
That's right. That's right. I mean, there's family members and others. If they need Mr. Bundy to be held accountable to something. Again, I'm not judging.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying if they need, let's get the sheriff involved and let's deal with that. And then Mr. Bundy probably maybe even welcome that, saying, okay, let's talk about this or whatever. But it's in the way it was conducted, it's just, and it may have been a test for us Americans. There's many people in history that have been labeled domestic terrorists, including George Washington himself.
Absolutely.
So it's just because somebody labels you that doesn't mean that people are that.
Absolutely.
So it's just we got to put it into perspective. I'm here to help accomplish that today. Is to try to put that all in perspective. Nobody's threatening to kill people or anything like that. We're just here to watch out over the family.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, and that's everybody's stance out here. That very clear. That everybody's here as a defensive position, and if they come in with a warrant, we're going to check that out and say, hey, that's the law, but that's not what they presented, and so all of us are here. I mean, we don't know the politics of it. We're not interested. We just want to be here to make sure this family's safe, and then let hopefully our officials take care of it. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
You ready?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is this way, I think.
Remind me your name?
Brandon, sir.
Brandon. Thanks, Brandon. Jack, thanks for...
Oh, you're welcome.
Let's make sure that.